Hari Om Yogis. Let's start as usual with a moment of silence and stillness, having our back straight, our eyes closed, mouth closed, body still. And let's observe a moment of silence and stillness until we let you know. Hari Om. Very well. So today we have an interesting topic. Today we're going to speak a little bit on unexpected aspects of divine love and the guru. These things that are unexpected, that are easily misinterpreted as not being divine love, or as almost being something opposite or apparently contradictory to divine love, uh, so that we can kind of clear the air on that issue and hopefully avoid some mistakes and provide some clarity on that subject, and hopefully will be something that will help us in making decisions, in understanding why certain things are done a certain way, and hopefully will be something that will be beneficial for our spiritual growth as well. Maybe some nuggets that we can apply. uh, so divine love and the guru. So when this divine love is manifesting through the guru, through the spiritual master, many times we notice that a lot of these enlightened yogis or gurus or spiritual masters, they seem, or they may appear at times, sort of harsh, a bit stern, sometimes may even be perceived as aggressive or cold, maybe even a little cruel. But these are the parts of the divine love. These are different ways of the way that divine love manifests. And we're going to go into this to avoid confusion. And sometimes I see a lot of people get confused because why is the guru being cold or harsh, or seems a little cruel, or maybe going to the extreme a bit much on certain things? What happened to the divine love? Because when a lot of people hear divine love and these kind of things that sound so nice, we picture nice things. And they are nice things, but we picture usually oh, divine love is, peace and love and harmony and softness and and all of these things. So when they see other things that are not in matching that mental picture that they have created, that many times has nothing to do with reality, naturally there's a shock. They get confused. But I thought we were talking about divine love and all of these things, and this doesn't seem like divine love. Um, so first, let's make an attempt to define a bit what this divine love is. It's difficult to define. Usually, examples are given like the flower gives out its aroma no matter somebody's there or not, no matter who smells it or not. Or the sun shines on everyone regardless of who they are, whether they curse at the sun or bless the sun, or like it or don't like it, the sun shines regardless. Or there's the other example of the sandalwood tree, that no matter if the axe is cutting the sandalwood tree down, the sandalwood tree still gives its aroma even to the axe itself that is cutting it. These are like kind of parables, kind of like way of trying to attempt with words to get at, to point at what this divine love is like. Of course, it's a love that is given, that is offered, that when it's manifested, it is kind of like these examples. But because it's something so difficult to define, there may be ways in which it's not like in these examples, and we're going to go a little bit into that. So this divine love, we can say, one way of saying it is, divine love wants, desires, if we can use the word desire, what is best for everyone. What is good, and not just good, but what is best for everyone and everything around. That is the most loving thing. So when we are talking now of an enlightened master, a guru, a spiritual guide, or someone of a certain level that has started to develop, to manifest this quality of divine love, usually it also comes very hand in hand with wisdom. It is almost very difficult to discern where does the divine love ends and the wisdom begins, and where does the wisdom begins and the divine love ends. They're very intertwined. Wisdom is a little colder. Divine love will be warmer. Again, wanting what is best for everyone. Wisdom, I guess we could say, is also what is best for everyone, but what is needed at the most in a certain moment, it will be more in line with what wisdom is. So when you have this wisdom and this divine love manifesting through the spiritual guide, the guru, many times this takes different forms, different ways of expressing this divine love and this wisdom. That again, they are very linked. So when someone, for example, comes into the spiritual path and they are sincere in their practice, sometimes you will see that the gurus may be very harsh. And you may see, but what is the divine love? If you don't understand, this may be confusing. But precisely because that divine love wants what is best, what is good, and that wisdom is what is needed the most at a certain moment, then it may be that what is best, what is most beneficial, what is most good for a particular disciple at a particular time may be to maybe burn some karmas, to maybe learn some harsh lessons, to maybe they need a little extra push and they are not may not be able to get it. They may be getting distracted, so the guru may need to be a little harsh, a little intense. It may appear a little cruel at times because the guru is aware of many things that a disciple is not, that the initiate or the beginner yogi is not. So he is carefully paying attention at certain moments, at certain times. There may be special care that may be needed for a particular yogi or yogini. And so you will see the intensity is there. Maybe he doesn't want you to miss a particular opportunity. Maybe he wants you to pass this next upcoming test so you can go to the next level. And if you may be unaware or distracted, or he feels that you need to step it up, then yeah, that what is best, what is needed is for a little push. And that little push may feel not so good on the receiving it. May feel, oh, the guru is being kind of mean or harsh or whatever. Now, it is not that the guru wants to be harsh or mean. If he could do it in a loving way, in a very peaceful way where he just sits and he's vibrating at a certain level, and you're in tune and you can capture and you know what to do and not to do because you are in tune, guru doesn't even need to speak much. But not everyone, we don't have that quality of disciples many times. So when the person is not in tune, is distracted, is still unfamiliar or immature or inexperienced on these kind of things, then talking is needed. Maybe some few harsh words here and there so that you can kind of get it and wake up and shake you up a little bit, until you finally kind of get what you're supposed to get. Burn the karma that you need to burn. Understand what needs to be understood at the moment. And then you will see calm again. But for that period of time where the intensity is needed, is increased by the guru for that particular person at that moment, or for a particular group, or it may feel like harsh. Now, on the side of wisdom, wisdom does not allow for waste of any kind, waste of any resources. And in this particular case, we want to talk about time, energy. Because these are somewhat limited resources when we are talking now of a guru in a physical body. He knows that that particular mind, that particular body, that particular form, that particular personality of his or hers only has a limited amount of time. And in that limited amount of time, in those years, in that decade or two or three or however long that body may last, he wants to make as much a difference as possible. He wants the disciple to advance as much as possible, to reach higher and higher levels of consciousness as much as possible. If we can reach liberation or enlightenment, great, even better. So, because that time, talking about the physical body, that time, that energy is limited, and he knows very well that there are only that if certain things are not done while he is in his body, and progress is not being made and certain things are not achieved, they will not be achieved. You're going to miss it. Because if you're not getting it with him, talking to you, with him reminding you on top, once the physical form is not there, it is going to be much more difficult if you haven't reached a certain level. So that wisdom and that divine love, wanting what is best and wanting what is needed, are not going to allow any waste of time and energy. And so, if the guru notices that a particular group of yogis, a particular yoga center, a particular individual, they're not going at the pace that's required for them to achieve certain levels before the body is left. They're not showing the interest, they're distracted, they are, who knows. He will not waste time. He may give some opportunities, he may give a few reminders, he will show and be available again because the divine love is there, wanting to help, wanting to bring others up. But his love is not for a particular center or for a particular individual. His love is divine, it's for the whole creation, for all the centers, for all of humanity. His love is for the work of the guru. And so a point comes where if he doesn't see that progress is being made at a certain pace, that interest is not there, that then that wisdom and that divine love, wanting what is best, wanting what is good, wanting what is needed, automatically one or two things will happen. Either that divine love, that wisdom retreats and is offered and is focused where it will make the most difference. That could happen. Okay, this group here, these few people here, or this yogi or yogini here, many opportunities were given, many chances, many I was available, but now my time, my energy is limited. They don't seem to want it. They don't seem to care. They are distracted. They want other things. They're dispersed for whatever reason. They are not getting it. Automatically, let's try over here. Because divine love and that wisdom is always trying. Where can I make? It's almost like a river flowing. And if there's a little obstacle, okay, this one's not getting it. Let's flow this way. See if this get it. Maybe some watering anything and everything that touches, hoping that something will grow. And this is the way in which it is unlike the sunlight that is given to all always. It's unlike that because it is given to all equally at one point. But if it imagine the sunlight said, okay, this person doesn't want the sunlight or whatever, and you remain in the darkness, in the shade, and the sunlight focuses on those trees, on those plants, on those surfaces that want it, that are available for me. So that's one way in which these parables and references don't really reach the essence, especially when we're talking about that divine love and that wisdom together. So when that happens, that presence, that energy, that focus is retreated from a certain group, from a certain center, from a certain individuals, and goes somewhere else. That's one thing that could happen. You may feel like, man, Guru is being kind of cold now. Feel like he's pushing us aside. He doesn't want to. But no, his time, his attention, his energy is gonna go and be focused where the wisdom and the divine love feels that they can make the most difference, where people can grow the most. I was here, available, doing, giving chances, whatever. People, whatever, for whatever reason, they're either not interested, not showing up, or whatever, or distracted with other things. Let's see who else can take advantage of this. Because again, wisdom will not allow any waste. And so sometimes it feels cold. Now, that's one thing that could happen. It retreats, goes somewhere else, or retreats and just simply stays within itself. If there's no, doesn't seem any opening anywhere else, it just stays within itself. And when, if there is an opportunity or if they feel, then again it may be offered. The other thing could be, oh, in this particular group, this particular yoga center, this particular individual, these chances were given, this whatever, they're not learning, they're not interested, they're not getting it. They may even be impeding the growth or a danger to the growth of others. You're out of here. This is a school. We're here to learn. We're here to progress spiritually. We're here to serve each other, grow together, learn, keep going to higher and higher levels so that we can be of more service, so that we can be more of a blessing to the world and those around us, because that's the most loving thing, coming back to divine love, and that's the wisest thing as well. And if a particular individual or group of individuals here or there are not showing, are not demonstrating that they are sincere in their seeking, and there's a group that's sincere and there's a few that are not, time comes when enough opportunities are given, maybe eventually they may change their heart, maybe they will learn, maybe. But if that doesn't happen, then you out of here. Because now comes the protective quality of that divine love, and also the not wasting of that wisdom. No time is going to be wasted, and it will be unloving to see that dangerous things or dangerous individuals or people that are not interested really in doing what is best, what is good. It will be unloving to not address that, to not remove that. It is like the love of a mother or a father. Closer, they say that one of the things that is closest to divine love is the love of a mom. So when danger, any individual or any danger comes towards one of the sons or daughters, you're going to see how that love now manifests in a way that is intense, that may feel aggressive to that to protect against that threat. So that's when you see the guru being very harsh, very intense, and you may feel, man, guru is so aggressive, so almost violent, so cruel. Why is that? He is in a his divine love is acting, is manifesting as a protective force in a moment that there may be some dangers, maybe a person or individual or some negative entities may be trying something, and he's not going to allow that. So the intensity is righteous up because it's required at that moment. Actually, there is one of the deities in within the Hindu mythology that manifests in this way, which is Narasimha. So I'm not going to go into the full story, but basically, a devout uh, seeker, very devout to the Lord, to Vishnu, but his father is a king, very cruel, and he's doing all these cruel things to get rid of the boy. The king wants to be acknowledged as God, but the boy understands that no, it is the supreme is the real thing. And a moment comes when the abuse, when the threat is so big against this disciple, this seeker that is sincere, trusting his life in the hands of God, that according to this mythology, that divine love of the Lord manifests in a protective form to protect his devotee, to protect this particular seeker. But the king is so powerful because he has acquired many CDs and many powers, and he cannot be killed by regular ways, and no weapon will harm him, and he has all of these things that he acquired through his yogic, which is another story. He's a very powerful being, and he's now threatening this sincere seeker, which happens to be his son. So, because he's so powerful, and now the divine, with that divine love, wants to protect that seeker, which is sincere and who has entrusted his life in the Supreme. Now, the Supreme manifests in a protective form called Narasimha. Very fierce, very violent, very intense. It's the same divine love. It is what's required, it is what is needed at that moment to protect. It's similar with the Guru. You will see very intense, very fierce, very cruel at times, apparently, but it is to protect. If you're not aware, if you don't see, if you don't know, understand what's going on, oh, we're talking about divine love and whatever, but what's going on? That's what it is that aspect of divine love as it manifests. Again, as a mother protecting her child from any danger, you're going to see how that divine love manifests in a way that is violent or intense. What is needed for the situation. And so one of these two things happens if there's no interest shown from the yogis. Either the guru retreats, goes on, do something else, or if he notices you out. And he may feel cold. but it is this very divine love and this wisdom that is sort of pushing the guru to take certain actions at certain times. And I don't want to make it too much longer. There's definitely can be a part two and maybe a part three on this topic. But I just wanted to make those few points of how that divine love can manifest in ways that are unexpected, that don't seem very loving. For sure, if you see the story of Narasimha, he doesn't seem like a loving kind of guy. At least he wasn't loving at all to the king. But that intensity, that ferocity is what was needed at the moment to protect his disciple, his devotee, that seeker. So let's leave it at that for today. Remembering always that divine love manifests in many different ways, especially when it's paired with that wisdom. So let's definitely, if a part two or three is wanted and asked for, we can go deeper into this. But for today, let's leave it at that. Let's place a left hand on top of right. Close the eyes, close the mouth. Very well. So before we finish, one last point on that divine love and that wisdom. We started saying that since that time on that physical form is limited, he wants to make sure that the disciples reach a certain level. Because if the disciple is at a certain level of development, then it doesn't really matter whether the guru is there close or far, whether he's in physical form or not, because the disciple is at a certain level, he can be in tune with the guru. And so whatever needs to be done, he maintains that connection. And the disciple and the guru doesn't need to speak much. This is one of the desires that the guru is always trying to push in that direction, so that as many people are established at least at that level, if not higher, where they can tune in. And so without the guru needing to speak, or without even the need of his physical form, you can advance, you can do what you need to do, you can be aware. Even if you get distracted at times or get, okay, how to bring yourself back. So that then that disciple becomes an instrument of that divine love and of that wisdom to help others that are not yet on that level, that still need someone in a physical form to remind them, to to talk to them, to guide them, to physically be there to make sure that certain things are done or not done. Anyway, let's finish it there. Hari Om Jogis.